Welcome to Chapter 1 in Medical Terminology. I have found a downloadable file for each of these chapters, so I will utilize that as I record my lectures. Again, I have a real textbook in front of me. That is what I use. I do not offer support for the online or e-text version of textbooks. Be sure to get that support from Barton's IT or the publisher wherever you buy your access code for that. For me, this is just a downloadable resource, so that's why I'm using this. Okay, medical terminology. Purpose of medical terminology is to ensure cohesiveness, uniformity, accuracy, and everybody globally, so across multiple nations, in medicine, we all use the same terminology. You want it to be as accurate and the vocabulary to be transferable no matter where you go on the globe. So that is the purpose of medical terminology. It ensures that we're all using the same and it's accurate and it's you can move between medical systems and it's everybody knows what you're talking about. It would be very confusing if a certain country had medical terminology or even a certain section of the United States used a specific medical terminology that the other parts don't use. So no, we all use the same medical terminology. Many of our words are Greek and Latin derived. They go back in your spare time. If you ever have time to study Leonardo da Vinci, and is he brilliant? But his um, contributions to medicine I, are unfathomable. Like just wow. Anyway, my point of that is the Greek. I'm sorry, the medical terminology is old. It goes way back to Greek and Latin words. Um, Learning medical terminology can sort of be like learning a foreign language. Do not let that overwhelm you, but understand that you're going to come across things that you do not know. This is going to be a huge learning class. If you know some of this information, that is great. But if you've never heard some of these terms before, you're really going to want to create your own flashcards. You're going to want to dive in this material more so than just reading. There, YouTube has plenty of recordings and videos. I've even shared some web links in this week's module to just help you get a jump start on learning medical terminology. I can't teach you everything. I've been a nurse 27 years and I'm still learning terms if I haven't heard it or seen it in the OR or the ER myself. The good thing about it is, like I said in our welcome video, you do not have to be an expert when you leave me and you finish this course. Whatever realm of healthcare you go into, that's when you're going to become the expert. But I do want you to leave this class knowing how to at least break down, read, learn medical terminology, how to speak it, say it out loud, that sort of thing. And just by the way, in the US especially, you'll hear uh, different regions pronounce the words differently. So please, again, you don't have to be an expert. It's okay. So learning medical terminology. You have a root word, suffix, prefix. Your book goes into a great description of that. Also, these little boxes within the chapters, they're full of great little knowledge. Be sure to read those. Not that you have to memorize them or you may or may not be tested or quizzed on them, but it's just a great reference, a good resource to use. So word parts is reviewed in the book. The root word is in the middle, sometimes. Suffix is usually the end of a word. Prefix is usually before the word. This is kind of like a English uh, uh, refresher, if you will. We combine words often in medicine, and the reason why we combine words is not all root words are complete words. You really have to consider the context of medical terminology when you're reading it, when you're saying it out loud. Some of the words have to be combined. Words come from, again, the book talks about the Greek and the Latin languages. Um, you will find compound words. I did not know, by the way, where did I read that? I think it was on this page. I did not know that mouse reference. I did not know that's why we call a muscle a muscle. So see, there you go. You learn something new every day. Um, phonetic pronunciation as far as the words go. This is kind of the English review. Take your time, read through this. And again, those web links that I posted do a great job. There's a 45-minute video on YouTube that refreshes your memory of the vowels, long and short pronunciation. Box 1, 2 has great examples if you want to read that for reference. Abbreviations, I think that's on the next page. Yes, abbreviations. And by the way, in healthcare, there are approved abbreviations at each facility that you must follow. So if in this classroom or in other settings, if you're allowed to use certain acronyms or certain abbreviations, that's great. But when you arrive at your career site, you may not be allowed to use those. They'll provide you with approved acronyms and approved abbreviations. And by the way, an acronym, again, it's mentioned in the chapter, but it's something like FDA, Federal Drug Administration, or ASAP, standing for as soon as possible. And so instead of writing medicine and healthcare, instead of writing out as soon as possible, that's a lot to write out. We're usually in a hurry. We're doing things pretty quickly, so we just write ASAP. That is one of the approved abbreviations at my hospital. Symbols are not used as much as they used to be, but that's mentioned in the book. You're welcome to review that. Medical dictionaries, we really want a good medical dictionary is not hard to come by. You have apps on our phones now, tablets. You can buy a pocket size medical dictionary. You can even buy the good old bookshelf, old textbook style medical dictionaries. You want to make sure that it provides the meanings of the word, synonyms to the word, and where they're derived from. Um, all right, so as I'm going through this textbook, now this page is talking about the suffixes, plural forms. How do you take these like adjectives and make them into plural? You can review that again. It's a slight um, English lesson again. What else did I want to tell you? Hang on. But table 1-4, well, all the tables in this chapter, in my opinion, are great to review. And do not forget about the appendix in the back of this textbook, whether you have it in front of you or if it's an e-version, they all have the great appendixes in the back that can help you with review if you like to read it. The this week's worksheet, a lot of it is pronouncing, or several, I think like the first 30 items, maybe 25 items, I can't remember. It's just you saying things out loud. I really do. I just want you to say it out loud, pronunciate it out loud to yourself. You'll get credit for it. And then there's a few beyond that, maybe 10, 12 things that you'll actually have to answer for me. And that's how I will grade your worksheet. And you will also have a short quiz to ensure that you have some of the basic concepts of this chapter. Quizzes, mm, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it wrong. I feel like quizzes are worth a little bit more than your assignments, but I'll have to go back and confirm that. So just study, or not study, but take the quiz, do the best you can. You know how to best take the quizzes after listening to my welcome video. And I guess that's it. When you go through chapter one's PowerPoint, when you listen to this lecture or this video, when you click on those web links those extra web links that I provided, if you want to, please let me know if there's any questions. I am here, and we'll get ready to dive into chapter 2 pretty soon.